It's literally just straight demon energy everywhere. And the thing is, like, we can't see it.
That gray area we're talking about where, you know, these demons like to hide at a lot. So even when the demon's telling you that, oh, these are your thoughts, don't worry about me. That's another thing I'm trying to tell y'all is these things are hiding from you. So if you keep acting oblivious to the devil and acting like the devil don't exist, they're going to keep fucking with you because you're going to keep thinking everything they doing is just you. But it's really them. So the same person that's running from the devil or trying to ignore that the devil exists, you still gonna be blaming yourself for these weird ass negative thoughts you get in your fucking head. You used to be like, oh, that's just me. Alright, shut it down. But it's never gonna stop because you don't confront what it actually is. You're too afraid to tell this thing, show yourself. Let me see what you are. Let me confront you. You got too much fear for this thing, so you feel like if you act like it don't exist, it won't get you. The same effect that the atheists have when it comes to God. Oh, if I act like it don't exist, it won't get me.
Crucial 13, you all appreciate it. Shout out to you.
Get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this.
Look at it. This is the city I'm in right now. All right, what up, y'all? So today we're about to talk about why it's important to meet the devil in this plane before you meet God, okay? Now, we're about to show y'all a couple clips, and I know a lot of y'all is like, oh my God, he wants me to meet the devil. He's evil. Listen, whether you know it or not, you are a food source for these demons on this planet. And the more you don't look into it, the more you're at a place where they want you. So this is very important. See, Hollywood and all these people gave y'all an image of what the devil is so that you feel like in your mind that if you don't see some red jackass with horns, that you're safe from the devil. And the devil is moving through the shadows right now. You know, and the devil is masquerading as a being of light. It's masquerading as God all the time. This is why a lot of people fall into false religions and beliefs all the time, because they never met the devil before they ran into these religions. So you think you're in a religion, you think you're following God and all that type of stuff. You're really following the devil because that's what he's dressed up as. But if you ran into the devil before you went to your little religion, you would be able to spot out the devil. How do you spot out the devil? Well, a lot of y'all don't understand frequency and vibration. A lot of these religions promote low vibrational acts. Why is low vibrational acts so important? Because anything of a low vibration and a low frequency is a portal and a gateway for these things to enter, these demons. And some people will be like, well, I don't need to know the devil in order to know I got to stay away from it. But be the same people who do low vibrational stuff and don't realize that anytime you're under a low vibrational act or anything like that, you're under possession of a fucking energy vampire / demon. I mean, people really demon possessed, telling people that, oh, I don't need to figure all that type of stuff out. You trying to scare me and all this other type of shit. Y'all better start realizing there is an energy vampire feeding off your ass. Now let's get into this.
They like to create that rippling effect throughout the family thread that they feed off the negativity of the job loss and the,
Do they feed on the
entire family?
Do they feed on the other family members too?
Yes.
Without speaking to them, they can still.
Yeah.
They can draw on their energy. If they love the negative energy, the negative emotions. So if somebody's having a negative emotion, say anger or sorrow or disappointment, they definitely latch onto that because it pups them up and it enables them to do more physical acts.
This is why I'm glad I made this video about frequencies and stuff like that, because it can help you dictate whether you're open for these demons or you're open for, the Most High or, the light beings or anything like that. See, a lot of people really think that, oh, all I need is the Lord. And they don't understand that there's a lot that goes into actually raising your vibration to get to that state. You can't just say it. You got to actually do a lot of, vibration and frequency is everything. So as you can see right here, the vibrational chart, if you ain't vibrating above that pride and courage area, where you start, vibrating in the higher frequencies, the most high frequencies and stuff like that, you are literally under demonic possession. Literally. Some people be like, oh man, yeah, I'm doing my best. We all fall short of the glory. You are literally just submitting to demons when you do that type of shit. Anyone who tell me we fall short of the glory might as well just tell me I am a willing food source for demons. So even a lot of religious people, they might tell me, yeah, I'm mad today, man. Yeah, I feel guilty about something I did, or I'm afraid of this. I'm in fear. I'm sad. You're telling me right now that you got a demon attached to you. And they might counter that by saying, no, that's just human emotion, man. You looking too deep into that. All right, keep fucking with me with this shit.
Right.
So
and they pour gasoline on the fire. When there's an upset in the family, they just come in there, pour gasoline, and light the whole family on fire, and feed off of the whole family.
If they cause someone to end their own life, they can feed on the mom and the dad and the sister and the brother and everybody that's crying. They can go and feed, and they don't have to use their voice. They can just feed because it's
they
there
don't have
and
to
available.
use any energy. That's kind of like if somebody gets into the prison.
Yeah.
It's such a paranoid, fearful environment that all they need to do is just keep setting things off. They don't have to work very hard to feed in a prison.
So the second day and third day, other things happened. I started to go through the facility and I started noticing people with attachments on them. I'm like, oh, that one's got schizophrenia. That one's alcoholic or drug addict. That one's schizophrenia. So as we went through, I was noticing these things. I was noticing the attachments that are also on people with addiction that continue, which makes it so hard for them to overcome their addiction. And again, they've got a good thing going, so they want to encourage them to drink more or do the drugs more so that they can continue to feed on that energy.
Now, if all of us was still at our high state of being, before men fell and stuff like that, you raise your kids completely high vibrationally, away from all the toxicness and stuff like that, you fall under the more, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, because you don't manifest that type of stuff. But if you are already born into a fallen state, you're raised low vibrationally, you got an ego, you're very toxic, you enjoy toxicity, and we're all like low vibrational. You better learn how to raise your frequency quick, because you are targeted. You are food. Once these things are on you, they're on you. And your frequency will let me know if they're on you. A lot of y'all ain't vibrating high. And you don't get rid of them by just acting oblivious as you stay in a low vibrational state. If you know these demons the way I know these demons, they want you in that gray area. As said the clip that I played in the beginning. They love that gray area. They don't want you to point them out. They want to have their food without you knowing that they exist. Because when you know they exist, you're going to seek God right away like I did. I found out the devil was so real that I could not turn back. I had to find God or I was done. They're fucking with a real light being, child of the Most High. And excuse my language, but I'm dealing with a lot of low vibrational people who need the message to be extreme like that. Or else they don't get it. They think anybody be nice to people that's vibrating so low, they take advantage of that. They don't feel the urgency to start changing.
But there was one place that we went to there that was a area that basically it was forgotten people. This was an area where the family didn't bother to come and visit anymore. They were basically just dumped there to finish out their life, literally just dumped there because everybody thought they were crazy and Aunt Joe's not going to remember them anymore. And there was this lady in there and she's sitting at this round table and there were 4 chairs and she's sitting in one of them and she's having this conversation offering whatever it was, either coffee or pastry or whatever she was to the other people at the table. And the nurse says, oh, that's so-and-so. She always sits there and she's talking to people that aren't there. But I could see the people sitting with her. She was not, having these hallucinations. There were actual spirits that were sitting at the table in the 4 chairs with her. And of course, I couldn't come out and say anything because they might have given me a one-way ticket to a room myself, you know? So I had to keep my mouth shut, but I knew that she wasn't. And the thing about the conversation that she was having is it was like overhearing a conversation on a telephone, a one-sided conversation. It made sense what she was talking about, and that she was having this conversation with somebody that I couldn't hear the other side of the conversation. And that's another thing that I have found over and over again, is that a lot of times when they're talking to themselves, it's like that being on a phone, and you're hearing one side of the conversation.
They're talking to a spirit.
And they're not hallucinations. And even on the flip side, as people are getting closer to death, you know, they start seeing spirits come in, loved ones come in, and again, they're medicated. They get the Seroquel and, oh my gosh, you know, get all the other stuff out because grandma's seeing people in the room, because sometimes they start seeing people even as early as a year in advance.
And some people who think they're so smart might say, well, no, them people are just going crazy. People with schizophrenia or people with mental diseases and stuff, like, oh, they're just nuts. Y'all better start realizing and start figuring out what crazy is. For most y'all life, they keep you vibrating in the gray area, which is like the middle, you know, to keep you, you know, at a stalemate, at a standstill, because if you're vibrating high, they can't harvest your energy. So they like to keep you, you know, in the middle more, the highest probably vibration they can go, you know what I mean? And then as they drain your life force throughout your whole life, when you start getting up in age and stuff, you get dementia and all that type of stuff, your frequency is lowering to that, you know, where they say you're at the near-death stages in life. Death is a death force. It's a force. It's the lowest frequency possible. So your frequency is going from high to middle to drained all the way down to now these things are manifesting in your head, in your life. And you know, this is interdimensional warfare. A lot of these things can't materialize here. So they're interdimensional beings. And this is why they collectively in society killed off all our senses, our spiritual senses, pineal gland and everything, so we don't see it. Why do they not want us to see these things? Because once you see this shit, you're going to get scared straight. You're going to be like, fuck that. The devil's real. I need to find God. And they do not want that to happen. And a lot of people might say, well, I believe in God. I believe in the devil. Yeah, well, you don't believe enough because you're still low vibrational. You're still under demonic possession, whether you know it or not. You're still food for these energy vampires. Because when you really find God, you start seeing the importance of having a positive frequency, of being positive completely, sinless. A lot of people that haven't found the devil and God yet, they still think it's cool to sin. They think that there's no way that they're ever gonna be without sin or something like that. I don't even trust people like that. If you really think, you really give the devil an excuse to have control over you so much to where you're like, well, I'm gonna sin anyway. So anytime you get temptation, you think, well, this is gonna happen anyway, so let me give in to the temptation. I can't trust that. You have not found God yet. Even if you are still in a low vibrational state, at least acknowledge, like, yeah, this is wrong. I'm trying to be better than this. I'm trying to, you know, get sin free and all that type of stuff. I'm trying to get there. Don't be like, oh, I can't help it. The devil's too powerful. That's what they want you to do. They want you to be a willing food source for them. They're literally in the room with you right now, just hovering over you. These things are real. This ain't no damn state of mind. This ain't no fucking, oh yeah, the devil's there, you know, in spirit. No, man, this shit is right there for real. This ain't no my lower self, higher self bullshit. This is some real shit.
And like they're just being fed on like a huge mosquito is just draining their power. Lynn, you said that there's a difference between a drug addict and a schizophrenic with the can you describe the difference in the attack? Can you see the difference, or can you maybe just talk about that a little bit?
I'd love to. The schizophrenics have that similar appearance of like grape clusters over each shoulder, sometimes over one shoulder. On one occasion, I did see some in front, but they're usually closer up to the ear, and that's why they can hear them talking. In the case of the addicts, there are these, what I call archons. They fit like neat little backpacks on their backs. They either look like spiders, crabs, or reptilian. The reptilian sometimes will have a tail like an alligator that curls, or a human buttocks with no tail. So they show up either way. The thing that's very, very distinct about these is that they have a much smaller head in proportion to what The body is kind of the opposite of a baby, big head, little body. These are big body, little tiny head. And they have a fin type thing that starts at the top of their head, goes out and connects back in with the nape of where their neck would be, but it's not rigid like a dolphin fin. It's more floppy kind of thing. So when their head is upright and they kind of peek out over the shoulder, sometimes they align with the head from behind. And the thing is when a person does go through treatment for their drug addiction or whatever, and let's say that they've overcome it, the archon will detach, but it never leaves. It always stays in their area, waiting to reattach, waiting for that opportunity. I mean, hey, they've had a good thing going. You know, they're waiting for that person to slip up, which is why there's that constant temptation and that constant need to do follow-up.
Right.
Post addiction treatment. It's very important.
And she just explained the very thing a lot of religious and other people like to do is, I can't help when I'm being tempted. That's just we're forever under temptation, fallen state. I fall short of the glory. I'll never be able to be sinless. Hey, asshole, that temptation is literally a fucking archon, demonic energy vampire demon. Hello. And again, excuse my language, but I gotta be real with this shit, because some people just don't get it. And I've been talking about this forever, and a lot of people just don't understand still because they're not doing the shadow work. They're not really going inside themselves to figure out, okay, why am I, low vibrational? Why they haven't confronted this shit yet. And don't tell me about what you read in a book, not a book that's been fucking tampered with by 80,000 demonic vampires who want to keep you at a low vibrational state. That's why if you really ain't find God, you're going to always resort to what other men tell you to do and stuff like that. When you really find God, you're going to talk about this shit I'm talking about, the being sinless. Let's get this demon out of our body for good. We can't go to heaven or go to the next dimension, the next, whatever people call it, unless we're vibrating on a high frequency, God's frequency. You can't take this demonic vibration into heaven. It just won't work like that. You can't be like that and expect to go. It doesn't work. This is why I respect things like the 42 laws of Mayat and stuff like that did not excuse you from sinning. Anybody who came around and said you're okay sinning was helping these energy vampires so they could keep harvesting your life source. And when you get down to the nitty gritty with the stuff, Yahshua did not come back to excuse people for being lawless. He didn't come back so you could be lawless. Yahshua came back to enforce the laws. Enforce the laws. Not say you can be sinful and you can be food for these fucking demons that I'm trying to save you from. That doesn't work like that. And people might say, well, what is the laws? Righteousness, 100% righteousness. And you know who's vibrating high by how righteous they are. Study the frequencies. Look at how the frequencies work, how the vibrations work. If you don't understand that, then you're still giving yourself an excuse to be lawless. And some people might rebuttal that, well, righteousness is in the eye of the beholder. It could, whatever you think is right or wrong. Listen, if you don't got a moral compass to the point where you understand right and wrong, righteous and lawless and all that other type of stuff, this video is not for you. And I know some people that will interpret what I'm saying as being blasphemous. Oh, to be 100% righteous, to be righteous is to be perfect, and only Jesus is perfect, or only Yahshua is perfect, only God is perfect, and you're trying to be God. Think about how dumbed down they got people to where if you think you could just be righteous, you're the devil. Think about that. The devil is everything that opposes righteousness. It's the complete opposite frequency of righteousness, of high vibration. It's the complete opposite. It's lawlessness, it's wickedness, it's evil. Somebody who thinks they can be righteous is evil in these people's mind because they've already defeated themselves and said, I can't be righteous. My book tells me I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I'm going to give in to my temptation. They're not the devil, though. They're right. But me trying to be righteous, I'm the devil to these people. And I told y'all before, it be the people that's under the most demonic possession calling everybody else the devil.
But that archon is there. My brother, for instance, he was a crack cocaine addict and an alcoholic, and he had a reptilian, one of these archons. And again, they fit like neat little backpacks. Their feet are almost frog-like looking in some of the cases with the reptilian, which is what he had with the 4 toes, kind of bulbous fingers where they attached in. But the thing is it would leap whenever my brother was planning to come and visit, even though he had been clean from drugs for 10 years at that point, it would jump from corner to corner of my ceiling in my house and side to side. And I'm not the only one that would see it. My kids would see it. My kids are also empaths, but we would sometimes see it at the same time. And they would say, oh, Uncle Ray must be, getting ready to come and visit. And sure enough, the very next day, I'd get a call that he was making arrangements to come up and see my mother and I that weekend. These are the things, the most difficult ones to get off are the crabs. Because they have more legs that are embedded. The reptilians are not as hard, so at least if you get one, hope for a reptilian because they're a lot easier to, to get off. But the spiders, they have these kind of wobbly legs.
Right. Are the spiders associated with one kind of drug, and then the frogs associated with a different kind of drug? Is it like uppers give you this kind and downers give you that kind? I mean, is it that specific, or is it random? Do you know? Can you decipher?
I don't know. My brother was on a mix of everything, so I think it's just the luck of the draw. Whatever you've got lingering around, or who your friends have clinging to them that while you're hanging out with them, because you can spread those things.
So with what she's just saying, a lot of y'all drink, you do drugs, you smoke, you eat bad foods, you do all type of shit that allows demons into your body. But you think there's nothing wrong with this. And people who drink will make stupid excuses like, well, Jesus drank wine, and this is your excuse to drink and get drunk. Well, everything in moderation. I drink in moderation. I do this in moderation. I don't overdo it. So translation, I allow demons in my temple in moderation. So there's a balance. There goes that as above, so below bullshit right there. The fact that, everything got to be in balance. And a lot of Christians, a lot of religious people, they call people out for that type of stuff. Oh, there ain't no such thing as above, so below. You guys are, you're validating the devil and stuff like that. But they actually believe it, and they just don't know it. This moderation bullshit, this I can't be without sin, that's as above, so below. You're literally falling under that doctrine. I gotta be righteous, but I can't overcome temptation, and I can't, be without sin. Hello, that's yin yang. That's good and evil. That's duality. What are you talking about? See, people don't understand this type of stuff, bro. I'm a different one. And now, whether you subscribe to a lot of the stuff she's saying about the how the demons look and all this type of shit, with the shadow people, the parasitic crab-looking creatures and all that type of stuff, the insectilian, the reptilian, all this type of shit, y'all better start doing some research. Start within yourself, because I guarantee you got parasites in you right now. And I already broke down in many lives how a lot of these demons take the form of insects or insectoid-tilians, whatever you want to call them. These parasitic figures. That's why when you get disease, your body is the opposite of disease, right? When you don't got a disease, you're vibrating at a high level and stuff like that, or, pretty high or whatever. But when you're sick, that's when these things are in you. And what are all fucking diseases? They're like bugs. They're fucking, parasites. These are insectilian, insect type things. In the movie It the Clown, don't they show you that the fucking demon is actually some fucking spider? These entities that feed off of you whenever you got flus or viruses or diseases, you're getting fed on by these parasitic entities, these demonic things, these things that can get in there when you're vibrating low. No wonder they want you vibrating low at a demonic frequency. Then she talk about the reptilians, which you got a reptilian part of your brain. It's actually, responsible for a lot of our low vibrational acts. Our savage part of our brain. These things actually mixed in with the human race a long time ago. And don't say, oh, well, how could they mix in with people like that? You're literally a spirit being trapped inside of a body. These bodies was created. Like you transcend this. When you go to the next level, heaven, fifth dimension, whatever people want to call this type of stuff, you're going to leave this fucking vessel. So yes, people may say there was a lot of human and other animal or other creations that take place on this plane. The collective vibration on Earth has been lowered to this material 3-dimensional realm so you could be food for these vampires, demons, satans, whatever the fuck you want to call the shit. And again, for the third time, excuse my language, I'm very passionate about this. Had to lower my own self to talk to some low vibrational people that need to hear this message in the most blunt, brutally honest way they can. To make it severe, to make it understood. Stop fucking around. It's all about like what they can see with these 2 eyes that these witch doctors reduced you to. Like they literally reduce your whole senses down to 5 senses. And now you believe that if I can't see nothing outside of these 5 senses, that it ain't real. When really you supposed to be 360 senses. And that's what a lot of people will do. They'll say, well, I don't see nothing around here. Hey, you've been fucking dumbed down. You're calcified. You even think the pineal glands is wicked and all this other type of stuff. This is what a lot of people would say. Your whole third eye, your whole consciousness, your whole sight into these higher realms, into the interdimensional realms and stuff like that has been blinded for a reason. They don't want you to see into that shit, or else you're not going to be willing food for them like you are now. Yeah, we're going to really be pushing this shit a little bit more now, because I feel like we had a time where people do need to start confronting the shit that's harvesting them. There's shit harvesting you. There's shit siphoning your fucking energy, and it's teaching you that it don't exist, so you never put that shit in check. But we gonna start putting it in check and letting y'all, pretty much understand that, hey man, you don't gotta be afraid of these things. You don't gotta be like, whatever. Because I used to be like that. I used to be like, man, I don't even want to know. You know what I mean? But then when I found out that whether I know or not, that they are getting your fucking energy and they're around you at all times, that's when I that scared me even more, because that you ever get that weird feeling when you're alone that something's watching you or some shit like that? Like, that's them. Me personally, I always had some sense that, okay, yeah, I believe there's a God, I believe the devil is real and all that type of stuff. But when you just know things, just because, you've been taught this stuff your whole life, like, yeah, I pretty much know that. You don't know like you know when you actually see the shit. No, you think you know. And the fact that you think you know is gonna still enable you to straddle the fence, to walk across that line, to, okay, I'll be righteous, but I can't overcome my sin. But when you really run into these demons, you really face to face with these demons, they're in your room, they're fucking with you, they're trying to torment you, they're doing whatever they do, they're trying to take you down. You will change immediately, and you will know the extremities behind that. It ain't just, oh, I think I know, so yeah, whatever. Yep, God's cool. I don't like the devil, woo woo. Now I'm still sinning and stuff like that, because I haven't met the devil to know that this sinning shit is actually them controlling me and shit like that. So I don't know. I'm just falling short of the glory, as they say. We're proud of doing that. See, when you really run into the devil and the devil knows you see it, and there's like this showdown, they not gonna let you go. They not gonna leave you alone. Okay? You're either gonna go down with them, they're gonna really, get you that night and make you have to check yourself into some mental hospital or something like that, or you're going to find God. They don't let up. When you really find them like that, and they know you're hip to the game now, like they've been caught, they ain't about to stop fucking with you. And a lot of people be like, well, I don't want that to happen to me. But hey, guess what? You're still being harvested while you're trying to be ignorant and stay ignorant to this type of shit, and stay ignorant to the fact that you got to raise your vibration and frequency up to that Christ level. But you don't think you can overcome sin. So you're an open book to these things, and you're under the ignorance is bliss doctrine. So yeah, a lot of people better wake up soon. God is about to cleanse this whole shit off. And if you got any of these things that the Most High needs to cleanse off of this inside you, you're going down with it. That's why it's important to start doing the right thing. This spirituality shit ain't no joke. Don't fuck with this shit like that. Because a lot of y'all is playing religious and playing spiritual when a lot of us really do this shit. This ain't no time on the planet to be playing when all this evil is about to start getting washed the fuck up and you still think you could be in your lower sinful nature. Who the hell you kidding? Stop doing drugs, stop drinking, stop being low vibrational, stop entertaining toxic shit, stop eating poison, stop eating GMOs, genetically modified food, which is changing your genetics over to a more frequency that they can inhabit. Start eating right. Get back to nature. Get outside. Get that sunlight. Okay? Connect back with the Most High. Start breathing. All right? Breathe in good air. Get by them trees that's pushing out that oxygen. And I'm not telling nobody what to do. This is just for the people that want to hear the message. Okay? If you don't do it, that's on you. I don't care. And if your intuition, your spiritual level ain't high enough to where you're getting the codes instilled in you and you're getting them spiritual upgrades and you need a fucking book to tell you what to do, right or wrong, you're done. And those are who on a high vibration right now know that the messages are getting to them. God is sending the messages straight to the person. And again, this ain't for play. Start getting your ass back right. And like my guy, the 13th son, used to say, I love you. Now start loving your damn self. Because at the end of the day, nobody can save you but you. And if you ain't vibrating high at a frequency and walking the same way Jesus or Yahshua Christ was walking, don't give me that Jesus gonna save me stuff, because you failed Jesus. You spit in the face of all the messengers that came back and tried to establish these universal laws, the righteous way of being. You spit in their face, okay? Now I love y'all, man. Get this shit right. And guess what? Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, leave a comment, share the video. Let me know what y'all think, man. I ain't woke, I'm up.
Krucial 13, you all appreciate it. Shout out to you.
Get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this.
Look at this. This is the city I'm in right now.